right, everybody, buckle up. Today's deep dive is going to be a wild ride through pretotype.io.
I think we can all relate to this. You've got this killer idea, right?
But then there's that little voice in your head that's the doubt creeping in, whispering, what if it's a flop?
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to pour your heart and soul and all your resources into something that just, well, crashes and burns.
And that's where pretotype.io struts in, claiming they've got the secret sauce to test your ideas without the usual risk.
And faster, too, right? They're all about speed.
Speed is the name of the game these days.
Yeah.
But they're zeroing in on a real pain point for innovators.
Which is?
Figuring out if there's even a market for your idea in the first place.
Makes sense.
Their source material really hits the nail on the head with that one asking, is this even worth investing in?
That is the question, isn't it?
Million-dollar question, for sure.
It seems obvious, but actually figuring that out, way, way harder than it sounds.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's heartbreaking, but so many brilliant ideas bite the dust just because they missed that key ingredient.
Which is?
Market demand. Either they didn't solve a real problem that people are itching to have solved, or they just didn't grab enough attention early on.
And the traditional way of doing things, building out a whole product, crossing your fingers, it's just not cutting it anymore.
Way too slow, way too expensive. Pretotype.io gets that. And they're putting their money on faster, smarter validation right out of the gate.
So they keep throwing around this term pretotyping. Sounds a lot like prototyping, but dot earlier somehow.
You hit the nail on the head. And grasping that distinction, that's huge. Think of your typical prototyping like what you do in Figma, right? You're building out this whole intricate model of your idea.
Right.
Pretotyping flips the script. It's all about testing the core problem you're tackling, seeing if there's even a need for it before you go full-on Frankenstein in your workshop.
So less about having the actual thing all polished and shiny, and more about proving people actually want the thing before it even exists.
Nailed it. Picture this. You could be testing out 3 different business ideas in the same time it'd take you to build one traditional prototype.
Get out. Seriously.
That's the kind of power pretotype.io is promising. And how they claim to pull it off. Well, that's where things get really wild.
Hold that thought, everyone. We're diving into the world of AI and pretotyping right after the break. And we're back. Okay, so AI-powered pretotyping, what does that even mean?
Well, they talk about creating what they call pre-minimal viable products.
Pretotypes, right. Shorter, snappier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pretotypes. So you're getting that early validation without needing to go through the whole song and dance of building a full-blown MVP.
Which is a huge relief, honestly.
Oh, tell me about it. That whole MVP grind can be a real make or break for startups, for innovators, and you know what I find really fascinating?
What's that?
Pretotype.io claims they don't just stop at making these pretotypes. They're saying their AI can actually pick out the ideas with the highest chance of success.
Whoa, hold on. So it's not just telling you what's possible. It's actually guiding you towards what's most likely to make bank?
That's the claim, and honestly, that's huge. It's like having a crystal ball in the often chaotic world of innovation.
Sign me up. And speaking of signing up, they talk about making this whole thing super accessible, right? Democratized access, no prior knowledge needed. They're not just talking to the tech wizards here.
Definitely not. And that's a really important point. They're going for a user-friendly vibe, letting anyone, and I mean anyone, test out their ideas. Don't need to be some coding guru, which I love.
Me too.
Yeah.
Levels the playing field. So we've got this platform that's user-friendly, AI-powered, all about quick validation. But how does it actually help with all the real-world headaches that founders and innovators face?
Think of it this way. Pretotype.io is all about risk management. Building a business, it's inherently risky, right? But this platform, it gives you the tools to test multiple ideas quickly, affordably, before you go all in on one concept.
It's like that saying, fail fast, fail cheap.
Exactly. Iterate, refine, find that sweet spot between market need and your own passion.
Love it. So we've talked about risk management, but the source material also dives into some serially cool features. AI-powered solutions, domain name help, even web page deployment.
Yeah, they're not messing around. They've thought through that whole journey, taking an idea from that first spark to actually testing it out.
And then, of course, there's the big one, the go, no-go recommendation. That's where the AI puts on its judge's robes, right?
It's like having a data-driven mentor in your back pocket, nudging you in the right direction. They're basically saying, look, we analyze your prototype, and here's the deal.
No more second guessing, no more relying on gut feeling alone. Sounds like pretotype.io wants to be your roadmap through those early stage uncertainties. But how does it all actually work in practice?
Well, let's jump into the platform itself and find out.
All right, so we've talked about why pretotype.io exists, what they're trying to do, but how does it all actually work?
Well, the source material actually gives us a little sneak peek behind the scenes here. They talk about benchmarking ideas, experiment creation. Sounds kind of sci-fi, right?
A little bit like, are we in a lab right now?
Yeah.
But seriously, break it down for us.
Okay, so imagine this. You can plug in all your different ideas, and pretotype.io will actually rank them for you.
Based on what?
Based on their potential for success, they're using data to tell you which ideas are most likely to gain traction. No more relying on gut feelings alone.
Okay, that's cool. No more dartboard decision making.
Exactly. It's about letting the market data guide you from day one.
Love that. So once you've got your top contenders, what's next?
Experiment time. Pretotype.io helps you set up these experiments to test your ideas in the real world. And this is where it gets even cooler. They mention something called a fake door pretotype.
Fake door. Okay, now you have my full attention. That sounds kind of, well, sneaky.
Sneaky in the best way possible. Think of it this way. Let's say you want to launch an online coaching business.
Okay, I'm following.
Instead of building out this whole elaborate website, you just create a basic landing page. Something simple with a sign up now button.
Right.
Even if there's no actual coaching platform built yet, if people are clicking that button,
You know there's interest.
bingo, you validated the demand without spending months building something that might not even have an audience. And pretotype.io, they say they streamline this whole process from those first brainstorms to launching your fake door, analyzing the results.
And that's where the AI really flexes its muscles, right?
You got it. Automating those tasks, crunching the data, and ultimately giving you that go, no-go verdict.
Which, let's be honest, is what we all want to know. Should I go for it, or should I cut my losses and move on?
It's like having that data-driven mentor whispering in your ear, this one has potential, or maybe pump the brakes on this one.
I love that analogy. It's not just about the tool itself. It's about having that extra layer of guidance.
Precisely. And here's the thing. Pretotype.io, they're not just preaching this new way of doing things, they're living it. The source material even mentions a demo studio and a roadmap, meaning they're still under development.
Wait, so they're prototyping their own platform.
Exactly. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is.
That's commitment. It's like they're saying, we believe in this so much, we're using it to build our own company.
Right. And they're inviting others to join the ride. They wrap up with a call for early adopters, people who want to be on the front lines of this whole prototyping movement.
Which is a pretty exciting place to be, if you ask me. This isn't just about a new tool. It's about changing the way we think about innovation.
Faster, smarter, more data-driven. It's a whole new world out there.
It really is. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into pretotype.io. If any of this got those entrepreneurial gears turning, I highly recommend you check them out. You might just discover the tools and inspiration you need to take your own big ideas to the next level.
Hear, hear.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. Catch you all next time for another fascinating deep dive.